So if you don't already, go ahead and follow Chronicles of Olivia. She actually led me onto this case, but it's left me with a ton of questions. So Ralph Yarl is a 14-year-old teen from Kansas, and unknowingly to him, he hit the doorbell of the wrong address. Now, Andrew Lester is an 84-year-old white male that answered the door, and Andrew actually went ahead and shot Ralph. Now, what led to this racially motivated attack? Well, the grandson of Andrew actually came on the news and he spoke out. So let's listen to the clip, and I'm going to go through what it is that he said that led me down this road of questioning.
What is your reaction? What was your reaction when you heard that your grandfather shot Ralph Yarl for ringing his doorbell?
I was disgusted. I thought it was terrible. Myself and my family stand with Ralph Yarl and seeking justice. This is a horrible tragedy. It never should have happened. This country happens over and over again where people get away with killing unarmed, innocent black people, and I would have had the same energy for any other case like I've had over and over again in this country, like I said. But so it's the right thing to do. People need to speak out and not make any excuses for this kind of behavior and this violence.
So you said for killing innocent black people. The prosecutor in this case has suggested that there was a racial component to it. Do you believe your grandfather is racist?
I believe he holds racist tendencies.
Why do you say that?
He's just a stock American Christian male. It's older, that's just how they are. It's the conspiracies and weird random racist things that they say out sound, and it doesn't make sense, but they're just scared.
Now, listen, you're generalizing a lot here about, you said older Christian white males, but what do you mean by that? What do you mean they're scared? Talk to me more, please.
Yeah, it's just I feel like a lot of people of that generation are caught up in this 24-hour news cycle of fear and paranoia perpetuated by some other news stations, and he was fully into that, sit and watch Fox News all day, every day, blaring in his living room. And I think that stuff really kind of reinforces this negative view of minority groups and leads people to be doesn't necessarily lead people to be racist, but it reinforces and galvanizes racist people.
What's super interesting here is when he spoke about the 24-hour news cycle, how fear and paranoia is perpetuated by these news stations. So I went ahead and I researched how many adults in the US actually go ahead and watch the news. And I was shocked that in the US, with a population of 331 million, 3 out of 4 adults watch the news. Now, in the UK, we have a population of about 67 million, and out of that 67 million, roughly around 18 million people actually watch the news. And out of the 18 million people in the UK, it would turn out that roughly 70% of those people were getting their information online. So they were never actually watching it. They're consuming the information that it is that they want to see from going on their phone or just accessing it online. In the UK, people actually stay away from the news. And when I was asking loads of people, do you watch the news? And they were like, no, not at all. I actually stay away from the news. And a lot of people in the UK just said that it was too negative for them. The things that they saw and the atrocities that they see on a daily basis just didn't really want to be something that they saw when they got home from a long, hard day's work. Whereas in America, it's very political. And because of political views and division, everyone has their own news station and watches it continuously. If you're wondering, how does any of this correlate together, then hear me out. Now, in the most simplistic format, I'm going to try and explain this from a psychological standpoint. Now, even though you are watching TV, your brain itself doesn't actually know that. So it doesn't know how to perceive or intake the threat it is that it's watching. Hence why when people are watching horror films, they feel a certain type of way, because even though they know what they're seeing on screen isn't real, the brain itself can't perceive that. Casey has a fantastic breakdown of this in his book. If you don't have it, go and get it. It's fucking phenomenal. Casey explains if he's to leave his house one day and there's a group of small kids outside, he's not going to perceive that as a threat. But if the night before he watched a movie of some sort with a load of small kids going around killing people because they're demonically possessed, when he leaves his house that morning, his brain may slightly perceive it as a threat because of what he's seen the night before. What I'm trying to explain here is if someone's to watch the news on a daily basis and they're constantly to see black on black crime, black person doing this, 4 black teens doing that, this, that and the other, like the news likes to constantly go on about in America, this person then has a perceived threat simply because of the news that they've been watching that's allowed them to interpret what this person's going to do to them. And by the media, it's actually called the cultivation effect. And that explains how the media influences our perception of direct experiences with the real world. As whether or not you want to admit it, America has a massive racial divide. Like in the UK, if someone's to murder or commit a murder, they don't go on about the colour of a person's skin. They'll just name the individual and put a picture next to it. It's not really black male has done this. Gonna part 2 this one, but if you like the content, then please feel free to follow for more or drop any names or suggestions in the comments below and we'll definitely get to it. Thank you.